when Jesus died on the cross, the veil in the temple was split, signifying that the connection between man and God was no longer cut off. There was no longer this separation. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen any fabric get torn, but it's not like a cut. It's a ripping. It's torn, especially with any kind of hide. It's not pretty. It's jagged. So when you see Jesus getting torn apart by the cat of nine tails, or if you've ever seen any kind of animal getting torn apart, it's not a nice straight line. It's jagged. It's crooked. So when the veil is torn, I don't imagine that it was a nice, pretty-looking thing. Now, so I'm saying that all these things, all these representations are torn things. Jesus was torn. The veil was torn. The sacrifice is torn. Now, no, it's fine. It's fine. All right, so Jesus was the torn veil, the sacrifice, and he was raised above the earth just like a flag. And he was raised not only from the earth, but also from the dead. And the flag is the point to which fighters in an army rally. And it's not just the point to which they rally, but it's also their name. It's the might. The flag represents the might of a kingdom, and it empowers that army to crush the enemy. A fighter places himself under the banner, under its shadow, and that's what gives them the power to conquer. Alone, human beings are nothing. And even bound together on their own, their might is finite. Eventually, it runs out. But under the banner of Christ, we're invincible. But that doesn't necessarily mean that things won't go wrong. You're told that it will. But even a servant like Job was put through the ringer. He lost all his possessions, his children. Everyone around him told him to give up, or gave him poor spiritual advice, tried to say there was some sin in his life when he knew there wasn't. Made him question his faith when there was nothing wrong in his life. But we have to remember that the fight we're in is not about our individual struggles as Christians. It's not about us. It's about the kingdom and about the Father's business and about pointing to the Father. It's about being a witness. Life is short and it ends for us, at least in the physical, at some point. But it has eternal consequences. Because we're not fighting for ourselves, but for every lost soul out there. Like, we're saved. We get to go, and all we're working for now is the crown that we get to cast at the feet. But it's more than just like, okay, we're trying to earn that. We're trying to drag people along with us. We're trying to get them to come with us. We're trying to grow the family. Because as much as God loved us to come and get us, if we love God, we should be doing, if we love God, we should be about his business. We should have the same heart to go after people, to go after the lost, and to get them to understand the love of God. Because to ignore a person who's out there hurting is not love.